Hi, I haven't been in front of a crowd since I retired 5 years ago. My name is Bob Gallardo. I'm retired from the Sheriff's Department. Been a street deputy for 30 years, spent most of my time in street enforcement, which is my passion. As some of you know, and I forget where the gentleman was, that he lives in the county pocket over here, probably behind Cambrian Bowl. That's part of the Sheriff's Office jurisdiction. We have some other pockets that are being gobbled up by Campbell and San Jose over the last few years. But I've worked some of the same area here. I've worked the west side extensively, and I live right up the street over here, probably a quarter mile away. So I have a vested interest on why I'm here, number one. But number two is I'm glad to see that we have a big crowd over here, because this is actually good. And the more information we get out and the more information we get back from you, because it's a two-way street, the better off and the better and the safer community we're going to have. I want to ask this question, and I'm doing this deliberately. How many people here have been a victim of a robbery? Raise your hand. Okay. Victim of a robbery. Okay. Now, this goes back to when we first started talking, Steve Mellis was talking about burglaries and robberies. The definition of, the legal definition of a robbery is the taking of possessions or personal property from another by force or fear. Now, probably I didn't get as many hands up in the air because Steve talked about a burglary and talked about a robbery. But a lot of people get mixed up, and rightfully so, on what's the difference between a burglary and a robbery. The robber, and this goes back to my academy days, back when Sergeant Larry Darr from San Jose PD taught us at the academy. Larry Darr was a robbery detective for many years, and reminded me of Kirk Douglas. And he was very passionate about what he talked about, but there's a fine line between a robbery suspect and a homicide suspect, and that's why you see those two units combined, or those two different entities combined in detective bureaus. Robbery, homicide is what you hear about a lot. Sometimes there's that fine line. Not every robber obviously is going to be a homicide suspect, but it doesn't take much. Sometimes it's accidental. And a burglar typically, usually, but not always, does not want to confront a victim. The robbery suspect, he knows he's going to confront the victim. He's willing to point a weapon at you. He's willing to do whatever it takes, even just to the mere fact of inducing fear, and act like he's got a bomb or a gun or whatever, and do whatever it takes to get that property away from you. A lot of times, if you trace it back directly or indirectly, they have an alcohol, or more important, a drug problem, and it usually gets traced back to that. I've handled a fair amount of robberies, a few homicides, and you name it in between over the years. So I've seen quite a bit in 30 years. No way am I an expert. There's people with PhDs that are writing books about robbery suspects, killers, all the gamut, that know much more about it than I do. But I can tell you this, from a street level and from a public perception level, I know what it is, and I know what it takes, and I see the after results, like you do, when you're a victim, and I'm the guy responding to your call for assistance. I have a short tape. I won't play the whole thing, and it's a bank robbery that happened out in Westside San Jose. It originally started as a carjacking over on the east side of San Jose. And a woman was waiting to pick up her child at a school. This is probably about 10 years ago now. I'm dating myself. But she was forced out of her car at gunpoint. Turned out to be a replica gun later on, but nobody knew it. Stole the car. He did numerous bank robberies around Silicon Valley. And then he went over to Miami and did a robbery there at the Downey Savings Loan. I'll play an excerpt of that, and then we'll talk about it.